there, fellow truth seekers. Are you ready to dive deep into the mysteries of the universe? Look no further than IsIsraelPC.com, your one-stop destination for all things mysterious and unexplained. From captivating podcast episodes to thought-provoking articles, our website is packed with fascinating content that will leave you questioning reality. Visit IsIsraelPC.com today and join our community of curious minds as we explore the unknown together. Don't just wonder, discover the truth today at IsIsraelPC.com. Welcome everybody to this special edition of Is Israel Confidential.
Is Israel?
I'm JC3, this is Big Joe.
Peace.
And you could see we're right here. What we wanted to talk about on this special edition about 5 days ago, which is what, May 17th? May 17th.
Mm-hmm.
The Vatican held a press conference updating its policies on apparitions and supernatural phenomena. And the Vatican just doesn't do that. What they said in this press conference...
They know the time is short.
What they said in this press conference right here, basically... The perfect day, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they talked about the Medjugorje case, and we'll get into that case in a minute. There's been no conclusion in that case yet, but these guidelines, we believe, this is from the press conference itself, these guidelines, we believe it will be easier to proceed and reach a conclusion, said Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, prefect of the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith, during the press conference of presenting the new norms of discerning presumed supernatural phenomena. Responding to a journalist's question, he added that for other cases that have been present at the dicastery for many years, these guidelines will make it easier to arrive in a prudential conclusion. He continued, in many cases, these phenomena have grown well and normally. Sometimes a phenomena can be easily managed without issues, producing positive outcomes. This has happened in most sanctuaries. Many frequently visited sanctuaries by the faithful or originated from a similar experience. There has never been a declaration, neither from the bishop nor the dicastery, and they have grown normally without problems as popular devotion. In short, the cardinal explained a beautiful phenomenon can grow without requiring a declaration of supernatural origin. In the case of Lourdes, Fatima, and Guadalupe, their enormous growth did not depend on a declaration of supernatural origin. To a second question on the same topic, the cardinal replied regarding Medjugorje. We'll see, for example, I haven't read the material available at the dicastery. I know some details, but we need to study to reach a conclusion with these new norms. Keep in mind that a phenomenon can be considered good, not dangerous at the origin, but it may have some issues in its later development. Therefore, sometimes a declaration needs to clarify these different stages. That's a distinction we need to consider. And then suppose there was a green light, a nihil obstate, we might also need to clarify that some details should not be taken seriously. If I remember correctly, the Madonna was giving orders, setting the schedule, the pace, and what bishops should do, etc. That needs to be clarified. So, what do you take from that?
I think they're just coming out here trying to cover their own ass. I think what they're trying to do is they're going to try to tell you that if you listen to us, we're going to be the ones that are going to tell you what's an apparition, what's not an apparition, what's an alien, what's not an alien. And you know what? It's time to let the people experience what they experience and stop trying to cover it up. And quite frankly, I'm getting tired of people trying to cover things up that won't release the third secret of Fatima. Okay, so you're covering it up. Let us know what the third secret of Fatima is, and before you can tell us what we should or should not believe in.
Well, according to the Medjugorje case, two girls in their then communist Yugoslavia, two girls aged 15 and 16, reported seeing a female figure on a small cloud while walking on a rocky hill at 4 p.m. on June 24th, 1981. Shortly after, another girl joined them. All three claimed to have seen the mysterious figure again, this time with a child in her arms.
What was the mysterious figure, though? Remind me.
Which they immediately identified as the Virgin Mary. These three girls were the other. Were the other three girls, three young people who formed the group known as the Visionaries. Then three more girls joined those three other girls, and they created a group called the Visionaries. Mm-hmm. The six youths spoke of apparitions of Mary, who introduced herself as the Queen of Peace, with the message fundamentally calling for reconciliation and conversion. From that, the noon and those accounts on a remote piece of land soon to be experienced a bloody war. A story began that has left a mark on the life of the church, reaching millions of people in various ways through conversions with long lines at confessionals and extraordinary participation in Eucharistic
all right, so
adorations.
Not to cut you off, but what is these kids claim they saw the Virgin Mary
on a cloud,
and she told them to be converted.
She told them to start converting people through peace and everything like that.
Well, on the surface, I could say, it makes sense. Was there any video of this, or was there anything else?
1981.
Wait, no cameras on?
In poor Yugoslavia?
All right. Okay, fine. Again, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because it's a couple of kids. Who knows? I'm not going to say they're wrong. I don't know. But I'm tired of the Catholic Church telling you, it's...
Before you get on a rant, let me finish the story.
What am I here for?
As long as through strong skepticism and staunch opposition, in response to the growing experiences related to Medjugorje in 1991, the bishops of Yugoslavia stated in the so-called Zara Declaration that, based on investigations conducted up to that point, it was not possible to affirm that these were apparitions and supernatural phenomena. So that's what, and what basically they said in this press conference is they haven't updated their supernatural guidelines in 50 years. Okay. So what they're doing is they're updating their supernatural guidelines and re-looking at this case, trying to figure out if this was the Virgin Mary or not.
Who cares? Who cares what their guidelines are?
A lot of people care.
Why would you care what their guidelines are? This is very simple. You're either going to believe that these children saw this or they didn't. Now, here's the problem. Okay, with Fatima, I believe it is, when the children saw the Virgin Mary, it was also accompanied by two suns in the sky swirling around each other. That doesn't seem to happen naturally. Weather phenomena and everything else. Okay, so at that point you got to say, okay, there's something more to this story than meets the eye. When 10,000 people in a field experience the same thing, that's not a bunch of bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean, but this is just three.
But do
girls.
they claim does that fit their guidelines? Like, who are you to give me guidelines?
Well, they're not sitting here trying to turn around and say that Fatima wasn't a thing. They believe Fatima was a thing,
according to their guidelines.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my point. Why are we worried about what their guidelines are?
Because they're the Catholic Church.
So they don't own God?
No, they don't own God, but...
They don't own Jesus. They don't own God.
First of all, Jesus and God are not appearing to people. It's the Virgin Mary.
Okay, they don't own the Virgin Mary
apparently
either.
she feels like she needs to appear to people.
Well, you know what? That's up to the Virgin Mary. Let the Virgin Mary do what she wants to do. She can do what she wants to do.
Well, in 2017, Pope Francis reminded that all apparitions on presumed apparitions belong to the private sphere. They are not part of the church's public ordinary magisterium.
And I agree with that, because it's not for them to say what you've experienced. It's the way it is, and I don't care about your guidelines. Your guidelines mean less than a hill of beans to me.
Well, he specifically referenced the Commission of Inquiry's work distinguishing three aspects regarding the first apparition when the visionaries were children. The report more or less says the further investigation is needed. About the presumed current apparitions, the report has its doubts. And thirdly, the Pope noted the core of the Ruini report, the spiritual fact, the pastoral fact, people who go there and convert, people who encountered God, who changed their lives. For this, there is no magic wand, and the spiritual pastoral fact cannot be denied.
I agree with him. So why is the church going against what the Pope is saying? Why is the Pope?
They're not going against what the Pope is saying.
Well, they're setting their guidelines when the Pope is saying, you know what, you've seen it, you believe what you want to believe. It's yours. It's your take on it. It's what you said you've seen. Okay, then that's it. It shouldn't be where we're not going to take it serious, or we're not going. You don't want to take it serious. That's up to you.
Well, do you know how many people in years and years turn around and say that they've seen, like, Christ? People they think they see Jesus on a piece of toast.
That's not for the Catholic Church to say. That's my point. It's up to the individual believer. If seeing Jesus on a Thomas or an English muffin makes you feel better, then by all means enjoy. Okay, it's not for the Catholics to say no, that's not it. But I guarantee you, if they handed that English muffin to the Catholic Church and they put it in archives, because it may or may not look like a historical religious figure, and they were making money off it, you'd see them change the tune pretty quick.
What is the guideline? So that's what I'm trying to look for. I'm not. The church has stated that the faithful are never forced to believe in this phenomenon. They are never obliged. There's no obligation, this cardinal said. The church, as a matter of fact, leaves the faithful free to devote their attention to this phenomenon or not. Revelation that has already happened is the Word of God. It contains everything we need for a Christian life.
And I agree on that. Count on, or start worrying more about your religion and how you're going to rebuild the Catholic Church that is falling apart at the seams. How you are allowing the Catholic Church to be dismantled from the inside. Now, anybody that's listened to our program knows my take on that. All right? Less worried about what you're going to tell me to do, and more stuff that I want you to do to preserve the Catholic Church and preserve the religion with the billions of followers on the planet follow.
Well,
and give you their hard-earned money.
Listen to this. So, apparently this is one of the guidelines. Without expressing any certainty about the supernatural authenticity of the phenomena itself, many signs of the action of the Holy Spirit are acknowledged in the midst of a given spiritual experience. And no aspects that are particularly critical or risky have been detected, at least so far.
What does that mean, though? I mean, maybe I'm a little stupid tonight.
So basically, it says many signs of the action of the Holy Spirit are acknowledged in the midst of a given spirit. So, if you believe you're having a supernatural or seeing a supernatural experience, right, or seeing an apparition, it's a sign of the Holy Spirit, and they're acknowledged. It's the Holy Spirit that's doing this, along with whose ever apparition you're seeing.
Okay, so that would be like they're saying, well, it's up to you then?
Yeah.
It's up to you to believe it, then why are they setting guidelines?
Well, the new
what
norms,
are the guidelines for?
The new norms outline 3 stages for the discernment process. At the end of the evaluation process, the local bishop and a delegate he appoints to oversee the commission's work are to prepare a personal votum, in which the bishop proposes to the dicastery a final judgment. That decision will normally follow one of 6 formulas, one of which is to the nihil obstate, a pronouncement that means there are no doctrinal objections.
I still don't understand why they get involved in stuff like this. There's so many other things that they should be worrying about other than this. Don't tell me. Look, people are going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to see what they want to see, and just because the Catholic Church might put a rubber stamp on it of approval or denial doesn't make it right. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I should be so lucky as the Blessed Virgin Mary appears in front of me, I could give a rat's ass what the Pope is going to say. I don't care. I don't give a shit. You know why? Because it's my personal experience with Mother Mary.
No, I understand that, but we have to sit here and separate what can be not true or not, Dad. You can't just say everything that people think that they see is an apparition from heaven.
Okay, but my point to you is, and I'm going to ask you, what makes anybody, you, me, anybody, tell another person what's true or not? It's between that person, his conscience, and what he may or may not have seen. It isn't for us to put a stamp on it. Well, we believe you, so it's an official event. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
How? Why is it an official event if the church says so?
They're the ones that are the closest to fucking God, aren't they?
No, that's not the point I'm making. What I'm trying to say is, we're supposed to. So let me get this straight.
Yeah, please make sense of yourself.
I'm making sense. If I was to get a vision from the Blessed Virgin Mary, she sits down in the chair right there. And she tells me, this is wrong, that's wrong, whatever she wants to tell me. And now I'm watching this and I'm believing what I'm seeing. But yet, and I go to a bishop and like, you know what? This is what I saw. This is what she told me. And the bishop said, no, can't be. It doesn't go. Let me open my book of guidelines.
The bishop will not sit there and do that. They have to go through an appeal process.
Appeal of what?
And they have to sit there but who knows what that is, Dad? Like I said, do you know how many people think they see God every fucking day?
All right. So my question to you again is it going to change my opinion? I sat down with the woman. She was in that chair right there, and we were talking.
If you're having a mental problem.
How do you know? Now that's the problem. That's the problem right there. What makes it a mental problem? Well, so let me hold on. Lucy mental?
Wait. Hold on. So, if you come to me after, granted, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but if you come to me after taking a shit ton of drugs and saying, "Look, I saw the Virgin Mary," does that make it? Oh, you definitely did. You weren't hallucinating on anything or anything like that. It was just that was the Virgin Mary. So we have to sit there and believe anybody who says they see something?
I don't know. But what I can tell you is it's not for anybody else to tell me what my experience was, whether it was drug-induced or not. If that changed my life, let me tell you something. I've been high a lot in my life, okay? And if at any given time the Mother Mary would have came to me, I would have considered myself, whether it was drug-induced or not, it would have definitely changed my life for the better, because at that point, I would have believed that I was talking to the Mother of Jesus. Now, maybe it's just me. I believe it's a personal thing between whoever's seeing it and whoever isn't seeing it. If you take it to the church and they say, "Well, we're going to appeal it," who are you going to appeal to? What do you got, a commissioner?
There's a whole thing you're missing here.
What am I missing?
If you're sitting here saying that I saw an apparition, this is what this apparition. I saw the Virgin Mary,
right? And
this is what she wants me to do.
Right.
At that point, whatever you choose to do with that information, in which she tells you, like, this is what I want you to do, that becomes a holy land, doesn't it?
No.
Why not?
Why would it become a holy land?
Because the Virgin Mary touched on the ground.
Okay, so does the church own Fatima? I'm just asking. Just give me a question.
The church has everything to do with Fatima.
They have put a shrine there. The believers have put a shrine there,
and it was granted by the church
because they chose to believe it. And just because, again, they're putting the rubber stamp, but if they chose not to believe it, do we have the 3 secrets of Fatima? Or do we have just 3 little kids that saw something, and the 10,000 people in the field that saw something, but because they didn't officially approve it or appeal it? I don't love that one. Who are they going to appeal? I don't know. A bunch of Cardinals and Robins and Blue Jays are going to get together and say, well, I don't know if this is right. It's bullshit. Okay, look, I have a lot of respect for the Catholic Church, but they got to stay out of people's business.
So in your take, we should just believe anybody who says that they see the Virgin Mary.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's not my business. It's not my business. My business is very simple.
No. And
then you know what? I hope she had a good conversation with you.
Wait, hold on. So,
not for me to say.
But what if they want? If I saw the Virgin Mary and you have to sit there and do something because I saw her? Exactly what's happening. What has happened in 1981. They're converting people over to Catholicism because people are believing that these children saw the Virgin Mary. So it's a conversion site, and many people sit there and to make that trek to go. Well, I want to convert to Catholicism on this piece of land because that was where the Mother Mary was seen.
So what's the problem?
So what my point is basically these children are saying we saw this, and now it's become a whole fucking thing, and millions of people go there every year. And now you're talking about something that's not just a personal thing. Now it's affecting millions of people's lives.
The people are affecting their own lives. They're making the trek. They're paying the money to go.
I understand that.
Okay, the Catholic Church has nothing to do with it.
But just if the Catholic Church turns around and says we don't have any proof, or we don't believe that these girls. Now, granted, that hasn't happened because it's been almost 40 years later.
Joe, I got a little. This might hurt you, but I'm going to tell you something. The Catholic Church has proof of nothing. Nothing. It's the faithful who believe in God. It's the faithful who believe in Jesus. It's the fifth. I've never seen Jesus. I've never seen the Virgin Mary. I've never seen God,
understand that. Neither
but
have
I believe they exist. Why? Faith. The Catholic Church has proved nothing. And that is a big problem with a lot of people, with a lot of religions. Just ask your brother. There's no one to
I understand that, and I agree with that. I think the Catholic Church is a bunch of bullshit as the next one. But at the same time, I don't believe everybody's who sit there and sees, I saw fucking Jesus in my toast. Calm down, rethink, look at the image. I don't see Jesus.
Right, that's
it's
up
just
to you.
Burnt.
That's up to you as a discerning person to believe it or not. That's for you to decide in your own heart. You shouldn't have to be told what to believe in by somebody else who can't prove anything.
Well, obviously, these people in Medjugorje are not doing anything as far as caring about what the Catholic Church has to say to begin with.
Good.
Because they're sitting there doing it anyway.
Good. They're not hurting anyone. This is a victimless crime.
Well,
There's
no,
nothing
there was a bunch of people were killed around that area.
Well, people
didn't you hear what I said?
Woodstock people were. You had a guy killed in Woodstock too. You know what? Stupidness is going to happen, but I'm sure it didn't happen. I'm sure people didn't get killed because the Virgin Mary was there. I would doubt that
because
people are people.
Yeah, people die in the name of God every day.
People are people.
What is your point?
The people are people. They're going to do what they're going to do anyway.
No shit.
There's going to be crime. There's going to be so you can't blame that on somebody who saw an apparition of the Virgin Mary.
I don't have to believe the person.
You're right. You don't
saw the apparition of Virgin Mary.
You don't. But the people that are flocking to that site
are stupid.
Well, again, that's your opinion. You can make that assumption, but I think we're getting off track here.
Well, no, this is right on track.
How do you figure that? My whole point is the Catholic Church needs to stop, take a deep breath, clean out their own closet first.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, before they put parameters on other people.
You're getting off track by trying to sit there and talk shit about the Catholic Church.
No, you tell me in this whole thing that they're setting parameters for people to believe or not.
They've had parameters. They're amending their parameters.
Well, their parameters mean less than a hill of beans to most people because people
they've had amendments for 50 fucking years.
That's a little egotistical to think that you can put a parameter on someone what you can and cannot believe.
It's not can and cannot believe. They're just saying whatever they have to say. It's just like finding an event and be like, well, we have no proof that this has actually happened. It's like investigating something. Mm-hmm. Why can't someone investigate something like that?
They can investigate it all they want as long as you're not trying to put your parameters on me or anyone else. I have no problem. You want to.
He said in the press conference, you could believe what you want to believe. We're not trying to tell you not to believe in it.
Oh, so what you tell me? These parameters are for themselves.
Yeah, and the church. If the church wants to put out, it's like we believe that this is an apparition, a supernatural fact.
If that's what they want to do, they want to believe. They want to put it on their own. So well, we can't do this because we can't do that because this wasn't proven, that wasn't proven. And if that's what they want to go by, that's fine. That's fine as long as they're not pushing it on anyone else.
Yes, because the Catholics don't push anything on anybody else.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say I have a hard-on for the Catholic Church. I don't.
I have a hard-on for any religion.
Well, that's your take on life. That's fine. But it's not, there's billions of people on this planet, whether you're, you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Jewish, you're whatever other religions are out there, they don't think that way. They believe in their own religion.
There's billions of people who do believe that way.
Well, there are, and most of them are peaceful people.
Well, just because you have a problem with organized religion doesn't mean you have a problem with being faithful. Those are two different things.
Well,
you have to separate church and organized religion like the Catholic Church and being faithful. You can.
Well, yeah, you can, but some people want to follow Catholicism, and they believe what the Catholic Church tells them to believe.
Well,
now,
those are sheep.
Here we go. Most religions do have sheep.
Well,
you can call them what you want. They call them sheeple. Okay, people that follow other religions, these religions sometimes can lead them into slaughter.
It's called Catholic guilt. That's exactly what it is.
It's not Catholic guilt. Catholic guilt is when you want to. Want to see an example of Catholic guilt? Okay. Going on a computer, putting on a porn film and wondering if those guys are going to go to hell or not. That's Catholic guilt.
I thought Catholic guilt would be more like watching a porn film and seeing it's like a priest scene or some shit like that. And be like,
no, that just would be sacrilegious and very, very, as Herman Munster would say, very, very naughty. So now, I mean,
depends on the scene.
Whatever. I mean, it's I find it odd that we're having a church about the Catholic Church and the Pope. He's not here.
Well, I'm glad the Pope is not here because he can't have a straight conversation without acting stupid.
Are you saying the Pope is stupid?
Well, yeah, and
our Pope is stupid.
This is a confidential thing. I don't know. You don't like the new Pope.
Who don't like the new Pope?
You don't.
I don't have a problem with the new Pope.
You have a lot of problems with the new Pope because he's not following Catholic thing.
Well,
Catholic
I don't believe that the Pope himself should assert religious doctrine. That's the problem I have.
Like
now,
what?
We're not going to get into it because I really don't want to get into it. But if you push my buttons, we just might have to. However,
oh no, I'll be completely banned on YouTube.
Well, you're partially banned now?
No, not that.
What's the problem?
Nothing. No, you'll get me completely banned.
You'll get yourself banned. You need to be more like me. Calm. Take it down a notch.
Okay.
Relax. Enjoy life.
You're calm and taking it down a notch. Are we done with this now?
I don't know. You're the producer.
I have nothing more for this. I mean, I think it's a good thing that the Catholic Church is actually sitting here, or the Vatican is sitting here acknowledging supernatural phenomena. And there's many years ago. I mean, I was not born for this, but many years ago, the Catholic Church wouldn't even acknowledge ghosts.
You're right. But here's the problem with most people don't know. The Catholic Church owns 2 observatories. What are they?
Yeah, I mean, that's extraterrestrial. That's outside of.
What are they looking
for? Space for it. I mean,
what vested interest do they have in extraterrestrials?
I don't know if it's that extraterrestrial.
I want them to address that.
It's more just why can't the Catholic Church look at space? What's the problem with that?
Because it has nothing to do with the faith. It has nothing to do with the Catholic Church. There's nothing in the Bible. There's nothing in religious doctrine about looking at the stars. So why do they own an observatory?
Why do normal people own observatories?
Because,
to look at space.
Yes, but they're not a religion.
So what?
It's very simple. So they can look into space just because we have.
Why not?
So now when you become a preacher or you become a priest, you also have to have a doctorate in modern astronomy.
No.
So what is it? Why would the Catholic Church need an observatory?
Why does NASA have a church inside of its building?
I don't know if they do or not. And if they do, it's a chapel, and it's a non-denominational chapel.
It doesn't matter. Why? That has nothing to do with religion.
It has. It's there. It's kind of like
the
same reason they might have a cafeteria, because people would like to eat.
Oh, people might want to look at the stars,
and they might want to go. Well, I don't know what again. There's no reason for the Catholic Church.
There is a reason. Why?
All right. So let me ask you: people are going to watch this. No. Put in the comments. Know what?
Nothing. Hello, Max.
Put in the comments. What do you guys believe? That's all. That's all. I mean, let's get some other take here besides you and me. If you don't like what I got to say at all,
9 times out of 10, I don't like what you have to say.
well, that's just too bad. Remember, I am Big Joe.
Okay, and I am Bigger Joe.
That's true.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Remember to watch all of our confidential episodes, and also watch the Is This Real new season starts September 1st.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
2024.
I can't wait.
And go listen to all of our sponsors, and please go buy some shit from our sponsors.
They don't sell shit. Our sponsors sell good stuff.
You know what I meant.
Especially Adam and Eve. They sell fantastic stuff.
Okay,
So.
yeah, Adam and Eve on a Catholic episode. Wonderful. Good old Catholic boy. So yes, please go to isthisrealpc.com and go look at everything we have to offer.
What do we have to offer? I want to know.
I mean, we have all of our sponsors. We have the Is This Real podcast.
Right.
We have the new show coming up, which is the wow, I'm drawing a blank. The Dark Side Diary podcast.
Oh, that's going to be
Which is our
good.
new true crime show.
We have the Angry Uncle. Don't forget that's
Angry Uncle's up there.
That's
we have,
archived.
The Bubba show is up there. We have old episodes of Green Hour
Keeping
Media
it real
up
with
there.
Bubba.
We have old episodes of Multimedia Mafia that's up there. We have a lot of different podcasts that are up there. Some are extinct.
Discontinued.
There you go. But others, like the Dark Side Diary podcast, new one that's coming up, debuts June 12th, and it's 2 times a month. You have the new season of Is This Real, season 13, that goes up September. We have a couple films coming up that are going to be out next year.
Some documentaries we're in the middle of working on. And if you're in the area, what's the date? In Red Bank, New Jersey.
September 9th, I believe.
September
Opening
9th.
day of football.
Opening day of football. And see, we're lucky we're Jet fans, so we don't get to watch our team, do whatever they're going to do until Monday night, which that's a whole other podcast all to itself.
We
But-
do have episodes of, what is it? Fourth, Run Up the Middle, I think we called it.
Run up the middle. Yeah, that was another one.
We have to reboot that.
Yes, because, let's just hope it'll be a better run up the middle season. Because
hopefully.
It wasn't a 2. It wasn't a 2.
It wasn't a 2.
It wasn't a too good one last year. Very bad. But we got through it. We're approaching 2024 and September 2025, correct. And September 9th at, I think it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a booth down there. We're going to be selling
Red
mugs.
Bank Street Fair.
Red Bank Street Fair. We will buy. We are selling mugs. We're selling wristbands. We're selling just about everything. We have some T-shirts maybe that'll be available.
No.
And some. Maybe we got some freebies too. So stop by, say hi, tell us you listen to some of our thing, or just say, you know what, we don't listen to any of your shit. Who the hell are you? That's fine. Acknowledgement. That would be fine too.
I mean, you had to listen to this point to get to here, so you probably know exactly what the fuck we're talking about. But
Right.
Well,
I know what I'm talking about. You have no clue.
Okay, right. Thank you guys for joining. We'll catch you next time. Remember, everybody, just like I said after every podcast, question everything. Good night. Hey there, fellow truth seekers. Are you ready to dive deep into the mysteries of the universe? Look no further than isisraelpc.com, your one-stop destination for all things mysterious and unexplained. From captivating podcast episodes to thought-provoking articles, our website is packed with fascinating content that will leave you questioning reality. Visit isisraelpc.com today and join our community of curious minds as we explore the unknown together. Don't just wonder, discover the truth today at isisraelpc.com.